नमस्कार। बियॉन्ड अबेकस की अद्भुत दुनिया में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आपका होस्ट डॉक्टर प्रकाश मुगे। बियॉन्ड अबेकस में हम मानते हैं कि मैथमेटिक्स एक कंप्यूटेशनल टूल या कैलकुलेशन से बहुत ज़्यादा है, इसलिए हमने इसका नाम रखा है बियॉन्ड अबेकस। गणित एक सोच है, गणित एक काम करने का तरीका है। इस चीज़ को हम बहुत गहराई से मानते हैं और इसी सिलसिले में हम बहुत सारे कोर्सेज, प्रोडक्ट और सर्विसेज लेके आते हैं जो कि गणित को रोज के जीवन से जोड़ते हैं, जिसमें ये सीरीज एक बहुत ही प्रमुख है जिसका नाम है कोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स, मैथ्स कोर कॉन्सेप्ट्स। इसमें हम आज जो देखेंगे उसका नाम है एंगल्स वन। इसलिए कि एंगल पे हमने 2-3 बनेगी वीडियो शायद, तो उसमें ये पहली वीडियो है, इसलिए इसका नाम है एंगल्स वन। लेकिन थोड़ी सी जानकारी आपको इस सीरीज के बारे में दे दूं कि इसमें हम जो मैथ के कोर कॉन्सेप्ट हैं उनको बिल्कुल नॉन टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में, सादी भाषा में, रोज के एग्जाम्पल को देते हुए हम प्रयास करते हैं दिखाने का कि मैथमेटिक्स कैसे जीवन से जुड़ा हुआ है, मैथमेटिक्स का आप कैसे उपयोग कर सकते हैं और आपके आसपास एनवायरनमेंट में आप जहाँ बैठे हैं वहाँ पे आप जो कर रहे हैं उसमें जाने अनजाने में आप मैथ ही कर रहे हैं और मैथ ही कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं और मैथ ही डिलीवर कर रहे हैं। तो इस सारा हमारा प्रयास इस सीरीज में ये रहेगा। तो आज हम शुरू करते हैं ये टॉपिक एंगल्स। तो सबसे पहली बात है कि एंगल फॉर्मेशन कैसे होती है, एंगल क्या होता है और एंगल हम किसको बोलते हैं। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मुद्दा है जिस पर थोड़ा सा अपन तो ये देखेंगे इलस्ट्रेशन देखिए। चूँकि ये ज्योमेट्री का टॉपिक है इसलिए मैं थोड़ा सा अच्छे से बना के दिखाना चाहूँगा। वैसे भी हमारे देश में दुर्भाग्य से ज्योमेट्री बहुत ही निगलेक्टेड सब्जेक्ट है। तो मान लीजिए ये एक साइड ऐसी एक सेक्शन ऑफ ए लाइन है, ये एक है और ये यहाँ पे मिल रहे हैं। ओके, यहाँ पे ये मिल रहे हैं। एक तो ये हो सकता है, इसको हम बोलते हैं एंगल, जहाँ पे दो या ज़्यादा लाइंस मिलती हैं या क्रॉस होती है। कैसे वो भी दिखाते हैं हमको। मान लीजिए तो ये सारी जो ये लाइन से मान लीजिए इस तरह की लाइन से दोनों तरफ जा रही है। तो ये सारी लाइन जो है ये इस पॉइंट पे एक एंगल फॉर्म कर रही है। वो एंगल ये एक एंगल होगा, ये एक एंगल होगा, ये एक एंगल होगा। कितने होंगे वो अपन देखेंगे धीरे धीरे, बहुत सारे एंगल होंगे। लेकिन एंगल मीन्स क्या, या तो दो या दो से ज्यादा लाइंस जहाँ पे मिलती हैं या क्रॉस होती हैं। ये यहाँ इस केस में क्या हो रहा है, इस केस में क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पे इस केस में क्या हो रहा है, लाइंस आर मीटिंग, दैट्स ऑल। लाइंस आर मीटिंग एट ए पॉइंट, वहाँ पे वो एंड हो रही है। इस केस में क्या हो रहा है, इस केस में कि दे आर मीटिंग एंड क्रॉसिंग, वो मीट भी कर रही है लेकिन क्रॉस भी कर रही है। सो दोनों केसेस में एंगल फॉर्म होता है, विच इज एंगल। इसके 1000 एग्जाम्पल देख लीजिए। इसमें मैं हाथ यूँ रखता हूँ, अब ये एंगल फॉर्म हो रहा है, ये एंगल फॉर्म हो रहा है। ठीक है, मैं उंगली यूँ रखता हूँ, मैं दो हाथ इससे रखता हूँ, ये एंगल फॉर्म हो रहा है। मान लीजिए मैं ऐसा कर देता हूँ, अभी भी एंगल फॉर्म हो रहा है। तो ये इंटरसेक्टिंग एंगल, ये ऐसा एंगल फॉर्म हो रहा है जिसमें दोनों एंड हो रहे हैं। ये हो रहा है जिसमें दोनों एंड नहीं हो रहे हैं। सो एंगल्स आर एवरीवेयर। खिड़की खुली हुई देख लो आप, दरवाजा खुला हुआ देख लो आप, नोटबुक आपकी खुली हुई देख लो, कहीं भी आप देख लो, दीवारें देख, एवरीवेयर यू विल सी दैट सम और द अदर एंगल इज फॉर्म। अब की जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल let us go to the plain version because plain version. Okay. Now, what are arms of the angle? These are called arms of the angle. Suppose A or B, which form an angle. That is, they are called arms of the angle. Where they are the one we are meeting. ये दो जो lines या line segment या जो part of the line मिल रही है, they are called arms of the angle. And this is called, what is vertex of the angle? This is called vertex of the angle. What will happen if lines don't meet? Suppose there can be two possibilities. Let me draw them. I hope this part is clear, so I'll clear it up. What happens in case lines don't meet? There are two possibilities. एक तो ये है कि भाई ये लाइन जा रही है ऐसी और ये लाइन जा रही है ऐसी, so they don't meet, so they don't form an angle. There is no angle between them. However, if you extend it, मान लीजिए आप इसको एक्सटेंड कर देते हैं ऐसी कहीं तो भी जाके और ये कहीं तो भी जाके, so now it is meeting, now it is forming an angle. So two lines may not directly form an angle, but they may form an angle after some time. जैसे कोई आपकी छत है, मान लीजिए छत पे आप वो छज्जा होता है या मतलब ऐसे इंक्लिनेशन होता है. इफ़ यू स्ट्रेच इट डाउन, अगर किसी तरह से आप उसको खींचते जाएंगे तो ज़मीन पे मिल जाएगा, तो एंगल फॉर्म करेगा. लेकिन जब वो बालकनी में छत अगर आपकी ऐसी शेडो है, वो एंगल फॉर्म नहीं करेगी ज़मीन. लेकिन अगर आप उसको मान लो खींच तान के ले जाएं ज़मीन तक या सीढ़ी लगा दें तो एंगल फॉर्म होगा. सो एंगल कैन, टू लाइन मे मीट मे नॉट मीट, बट इफ टू लाइन डू नॉट मीट दे आर कॉल्ड पैरेलल लाइन्स. मान लीजिए दो लाइन्स हैं, ऐसी दो लाइन्स हैं, they will never form an angle. Suppose this is a line, this is another line. They do not meet at all. जिंदगी भर वो मिलेंगे नहीं. They are called parallel lines, and there is no angle between them. जैसे आपके मकान की ये जिस कमरे में आप बैठे, ये दो दीवारें, जमीन और छत, हमारे आई मूवमेंट जो होती है या रेलवे ट्रैक्स जो होती हैं, सो दे आर एक्सीलेंट एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ पैरेलल लाइन्स. या आपका लैपटॉप है, जो भी आप जिस पे बैठे, मोबाइल लेके बैठे, उसकी दो किनारे, नदी के दो किनारे, so these are all excellent examples of parallel lines. They don't form an angle. मान लीजिए ऐसा आप बोलते हो कि साहब कोई झाड़ है, जैसे ट्रिग्नोमेट्री में आप आगे जाके पढ़ोगे तो ऐसा कोई झाड़ है, मान लो there was some tree like this, it fell down like this. Now this is forming an angle here, and it is forming an angle here. So I am sure it's clear to you now that if two or more lines are meeting, they can form an angle. They are crossing, then also they can form an angle. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, if I illustrate this further, it is also possible that more than one line, more than two lines are meeting at a point like this. They also form an angle. They form angle like this. Now, how many angles are there will be difficult to count here, because even if I say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and say 4 angles are there. But 1 plus 2 is also an angle, 2 plus 3 is also an angle, 3 plus, like this there can be many angles. But the point is that angle is formed when two or more line or part of line are meeting at a point, or they are even crossing each other, they form an angle. If they do not meet, they do not form an angle, and they are parallel lines. This is the thing which I wish to discuss with you. We'll see something more. Zero-degree angle, like we have a point. Point is a geometric figure which has no length, width or depth. So, but it's important. Similarly, zero-degree angle is an angle which is 0-degree angle, and there is no angle is formed. Now, single angles. What are single angles? We will try to understand. But before that, we should know what is a protector, because a protector is very, very important for us to know that how to use this protector. So let us see that. Protector is a geometrical instrument I'll make a rough drawing, because most of all of us are knowing what is a protector. So I'm just trying to give you a feel of what is it. May not be perfectly a circle. Still try to make it. Okay. Now suppose this is a point A. This is suppose O, and this is the point B. Now we have this D or protector, which is measuring from this side. If you go, it will measure 0 here, it will measure 90 here, and it will measure 180 here from the outside. However, if you go from inside, if you go like this, you will have a 0 here, 90 here, and 180. So if you go from this side to this side, then you have 0, 90 and 180. If you come from this side to this side, you have 0, 90 and 180. These are the ways we measure angle on a protector. And it's extremely important these days. It's almost getting out of practice to use protector, but it's an extremely important tool which we should learn how to use. We will have separate sessions for that, in which I will give you extensive practice of that particular tool. Reading an angle of the protector, I told you just now that we have to see how it is done. There will be a separate video detailing all these things. Now these are single angles. What is the meaning of the word single angle? Single angle means, let me explain you, that this angle is formed in itself. It is not in one pair of lines this angle is formed. Like for example, if you have this and say, let us name them. Let us say, suppose this is the side B, this is the side A, and this is the angle here. The angle is always in capital. You have to call it capital A, capital B, capital C, the way you want. Now this angle, if I make it on the D, suppose I have a D here. On this D, I am putting this angle. So this is my 0. So this is the angle. So I will measure 0 here, 90 here, and 180. Why? Because it is starting from here. Now this angle is more than 90 or less than 90? It is between 0 and 90. It is less than 90. It is called an acute angle. An angle which is less than 90 degree is called an acute angle. It could be 89, it could be 1, but it can be 90 and it can be 0. Because if it is 0, it's a 0 angle. If it is at 90, it's a right angle. It is between 1 and 89, then it is called an acute angle. But the question is, we have seen one kind of acute angle. Now let me ask you one question, that suppose I have this line and I have this. Is this an acute angle? And at this given point, so let us call the point P, and let me call it A, let me call it F. So is angle APF acute? Is it an acute angle? This angle? I can also call it FPA. I can also call it angle FPA. Is it an acute angle? For that, what you have to do? You have to put your D here. You have to assume, I am making with red ink on purpose. You have to assume, let me put it like this, and let me make a imaginary D here. So this is the starting point. So this is 0, this will be 90, and this will be 180. And you are going like this. Why you are going like this? Because starting point is A and your angle point is on this line F. So you have to go like this. Now again, this is 0, this is 90. It is between 0 and 90, so it's an acute angle. So acute angle doesn't mean, and almost we always think that acute angle means उसका मुंह ऊपर होना चाहिए और ऐसा देखना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. मैं आपको 1000 acute angle बना के भी दिखा देता हूँ. I can make just acute angle at will, and suddenly let us use some other inks. Okay, so I can make one angle like this. This is also acute. I can make one acute angle like this, This is also, sorry. This is also acute. So you can make it will. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपको यही करना है या ऐसा ले लो, ये ले लो. Whichever angle you want, you can make as many angles as you want, and they all can be acute. Why it is so? Because they are lying between 0 and 90 degree. This is very, very important point to understand. Okay, so let's go to the, I guess it's clear to you, and you can, mathematics will become clear to you through practice. So you make some examples of your own and try them, then you will understand better as to what is it and what is not. Right angle. It is another case which is a single angle. Why I am calling it single angle? Once again I will explain it to you. I call them single angle because they are formed with one pair of lines. There is not too many pairs are needed, like you will see later. So right angle is something which is like this, and this is 90 degree. This is the case of right angle triangle, where two or more lines are meeting and their point of intersection or the vertex has a 90 degree angle. This is important, that it should have right angle. This is called a right angle. And in right angle, this is the side, suppose A, and this is side B. So if side A is right angle to B, side B is also right angle to A. This is called, in mathematics language, it is called symmetric relation. Symmetric relation. I am looking at you. Suppose we are looking at each other. So I am looking at you, you are looking at me. This is the symmetric relation. Then both are looking at each other. Similarly, if A is perpendicular to B, B is perpendicular to A. Now here once again I would like to tell you that perpendicular can be like this also. Perpendicular can be like this also. N number of ways. The way you want, whatever way you want. Suppose you have to draw a line like this, then you just to make 190 degree, you can make it. It's not that it has to be always facing up, and most of the time we get stuck in the notion, all the books, all the teachers, everywhere in the class, we think that right angle में ऐसा ही खड़ा होना चाहिए. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. दोनों के बीच में 90 degree angle होना चाहिए. It can be as much as different. And let me make with different colors so that you understand. It can be like this also. Of course, it will be proper. I'm just making freehand drawing, so taking with liberty also. So these are all examples of right angle. Where do we see right angle? Let me tell you where do we see acute angle. वो थोड़ा सा मैं से छूट गया कहने का. दुनिया के सारे दरवाजे acute angle पर. आपको ऑफकोर्स रिवॉल्विंग डोर है उनकी बात छोड़ दीजिए, या दो चार दरवाजे जो दीवार तोड़नी हो तो बात छोड़ दीजिए. अदरवाइज मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस, whether it is refrigerator and or it is entering your classroom door, or it is your opening a car, whenever you open a door, most of the cases it's an acute angle. You hold your pen at an acute angle. These are excellent examples of acute angle. Right angle, you want to know? All the walls are right angle to the floor, because if they are not right angle, how will you have roof parallel to the ground? So these are examples of right angle. Everywhere you see, you have this table, your table leg is right angle to the floor. So right, you are supposed to stand right angle ideally. Of course, many people bend like this. We are supposed to sit right angle. So right angle, everywhere you will see that right angle, all the corners of the room, wherever frames of the door. And I will invite you to write some more examples of right angle and understand what is a right angle. So I guess right angle part is clear to us. Then come obtuse angles. This is another, in the same series we are discussing right now. We are discussing the concepts of single angles. Single angle with one pair of lines it can form. Obtuse. So what we have discussed now? We have, let us put one D here. So first we saw zero angle. Then we saw this is 90 degree. So first we saw zero angle. Then we saw acute angle, which was lying in this range. Okay, from here to here. and then we saw right angle which was here, and now we are crossing. This is 90 degree and this is 180 degree, so we are coming this side now. So these all angles are called obtuse angle. Obtuse angle means which is more than 90 and less than 180. It has not touched 180. It is more than 90 but less than 180. That is, in a way you can say so, that from 91 to 179. This degree, if the angle is there, it is called an obtuse angle. Let us see what are those examples. Let us see some illustrations. Like this line is there. So at this point, I draw one angle like this. And I measure from this side. This is an obtuse angle. Because this is 90, this was to be 90. It has crossed 90. So it's an obtuse angle. Let us see some more. Now what is happening here? This is 0, this is 0, and if I have to draw 190, it will be 90, and if I do like this, it will be 180, so it is more than 90, it is more than 90, so it is an obtuse angle. That is how we have to think about it. And let us see one more last example. Suppose I am lying like this is the point. At this point, I draw like this. Now what is happening here? This is 0. At this point, if I draw perpendicular, this will be 90. And if I extend this, it will be 180. So this is again more than 90 and less than 180. So that forms the concept of obtuse angle. So that is how the notion of obtuse angle is. Where do we see obtuse angle? Like a very thick book is there which is open. That's an obtuse angle, example of obtuse angle. Or if you are doing exercise, you are bending like this, backward. So you are standing straight and then you are bending backward. So your legs, your body angle is more than 90 degrees. So I invite you to think of more examples and take the concept further. Straight angle. Now, of course, as we are on the moving on the protector, as we have seen just now, that this is our protector, and we went from 0 angle, then acute angle, then we went to right angle, then we went to obtuse angle. Now we reach here. Where do we reach? We reach this, means we reach here. So it has become a straight angle. This is 0, this is 180. So this whole angle is called a straight angle. Let me illustrate in a little different way also. This is the point A, this is the point O, this is the point B. So AOB is a straight angle. AOB is a straight angle because it is a straight line. Straight line, you remember the word straight line? So it is straight line because no angle is formed. It is a straight line. So one end is 0, one end is 180, it's a straight line. So that is the notion of straight angle. It can be like this also, of course. It can be like this also. It can be very well like this also. It can be very much like this also. The concept is that it should be one smooth line. There is no second line, there is no other angle, it's a straight angle. So straight angle means a plane surface, you can say so, or a line which is extended, and there are 2 points A and B, there is no angle between them. If you draw a line, it's a straight line and there is no angle between them. That is the notion of straight angle. Where do we see example? When you do building construction. So you might have seen, if you go to some building construction, your own house was constructed, or you go to so many constructions are going on, you will find the labor or the mason always measuring something like this. He will drop a thread, ऐसा धागा डालेगा वो, तो उसमें नापते रहता है. वो वही नापते रहता है क्योंकि इट शुड बी इन लेवल। नहीं तो आप बिल्डिंग बन जाएगी, जब पता लगेगा कि एक साइड इधर हो गई एक साइड इधर हो गई, वो बड़ा खराब है। इसलिए वो स्ट्रेट एंगल ही देखते हैं। जब भी वो व्हेनेवर दे आर मेजरिंग दैट, देयर इज एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट कॉल्ड स्पिरिट लेवल। स्पिरिट लेवल आल्सो हेल्प्स यू। छोटा सा बबल रहता है उसमें, तो दैट बबल मस्ट बी एट द सेंटर, अदरवाइज इधर उधर होगा मतलब लेवल इज नॉट प्रॉपर। सो लाइक दिस देयर आर applications of mathematics which we are supposed to know. Now we will cross the limit. Limit means we will go underground. Let us see what I mean by that. We'll go underground. Let's make some fun also. Maths is a lot of interesting subject. So this is your line. So you had a 0, you had acute, you had 90, you had reflect, obtuse, then you had 180. So this was your 0 and this was your 180. Now what happens if the angle goes this? You can say it is acute angle, but I am talking of the angle which is formed like this. I am talking of this angle. Now it has gone beyond 180 and this is 360. You know, this is called full circle. If you have a circle, this is 360 degree. So similarly, if you have a D here, it is 0, this is 90, this is 180, this is 270 and this is 360. So this is called a full circle. So if there is an angle which is more than 180, an angle which is more than 180 and less than 360, that is called reflex angle. Where do we see this happening? Yeah, I leave it to your imagination, but we see it so many times for example, like this, a lot of circus, a lot of places are there where big swings are there, or big, like tora, these all instruments are there. So you see them, their spikes and all things, they are most of the time reflex angles because they require that kind of turn. And I leave it up to you to find some more examples. But definitely reflex angle is something which is more than 180 degrees. Let us see. I ask you one question. This is the line. Okay. On this line, on this, I am making an angle. So let us say P O Q. Okay. So I ask you POQ. What kind of angle is this? So if you are talking of this particular, if you are talking of this, it will be an acute angle. But if you are talking of this, it will be an reflex. Because reflex and acute, if you add them, that will make 360 degree of the full circle. So that is the notion of a reflex angle. Complete or full angle, as I told you just now, that when we have a 360 degree, that is called a complete or full angle. For example, so many examples are there. All the circles, everything, they are making 360 degree angles, and it's not difficult to see your cycle or motorbike or whatever, any wheel which is making revolution, it is making 360 degree angle. Or your clock, for example, the whole 12 hours it makes one circle. So that's an example of full angle or complete angle. So we come toward the end of this video. I'm sure you have understood the frameworks which we discussed, many concepts today, and I invite you to write your comments and put your own new examples which I'll read myself, and I'll be very happy to read them and answer them, and thank you for that contribution. As well as I request you to please subscribe our channel, like the video and share the video, and also see our lot of reels and shorts we are making on the social media, which is made for you, so enjoy them as well. Okay, so thank you for today, and we'll meet again in the next video.